Ugh. There we go. Hey fam, it's your girl Miss Diva Trucker, and I'm coming to you today. Let me know if you can hear me or see me before I get started. But I wanted to do a very important video today. But I need to see if you guys can hear me or see me. So let me know if the signal is okay, and then we'll get started. Okay. Soon as y'all let me know that the signal's good, then we'll get started. Both good. Okay. Loud and clear. Okay. Listen, guys, I wanted to come and talk to you all, especially the people who follow me and that's been following me for over 9 years being in the trucking industry. Okay. I wanted to talk to you about courses and taking courses about dispatching and becoming a freight agent or a freight broker or hotshot trucking or all this kind of stuff, okay? The truth about trucking is you can't sell it in a course, okay? You can't sell this in a course. You can't just throw your money at something and expect it just to make you $1 million, okay? That's not how trucking works. A lot of times the ones that's in the industry, okay, the people that really have freight broker license and also have their own authority and also have their own trucks, right? We can't, it's not something that we can sell to you guys, okay? And I think that's where the misinformation. And we sit back sometimes and we don't say anything because you pay for whatever you want to, right? You can put your money wherever you want to put it. But what happens is when there's so many promises about, you can just give me $10,000, $15,000 and I'm gonna get you a truck. I'm a dispatch your truck. I'm gonna find you a driver. I'm gonna do all these things okay? A lot of times those things do not work. Why? Because the market is very up and down. And nobody, I don't care what class they have or what they promise you, nobody can guarantee your success in this industry. The success that people have in the trucking industry, it comes from hard work. It comes from actually getting in here, doing it. You can watch a lot of people, right? That is in the industry, and all you got to do is just sit back and watch how they move and watch their struggles and watch their ups and downs. Okay, you can't throw money at something and expect that you're going to make this big profit. It doesn't work. A profit in trucking comes with time, okay? And a lot of us, we make our money through being in the industry, driving our trucks, getting that experience. Where did I learn how to run a trucking business? How did I learn that? I learned it by trial and error. I leased a truck. I studied the larger companies and how they move, how they dispatch. I looked at where I'm going to be picking up. I run my numbers. Those are the ways that you're able to make it out here in this industry, okay? And then you will see that sometimes it's just a money grab. It's the quickest thing because with a hey Prince, with a dispatch course. Let's just say you take a dispatch course, okay? That's the easy money grab, and the reason why is that you're not obligated. You're not legally bound to anything, okay? So that's why so many people teach dispatch course, okay? And they sell it to you to say all you got to do is get a carrier and you're going to charge a carrier a certain percentage, okay, of their weekly freight revenue, okay? And if you get 5, 6 carriers, okay, you're going to be making all this money. That's not true. Okay, these things are far. You may get lucky and and have somebody that you know in the trucking industry, and they will allow you to, maybe run their truck. But no carrier is going to fool with anybody that does not have experience. And if anybody is teaching you how to pick loads off the load board, carriers can do that for themselves. They don't need you to do, they don't need dispatchers. It's so hard to get started and make money as a dispatcher in this industry. Okay, but don't nobody want to tell you that. They want to tell you if you pay $1,000, $2,000, $500, and then you will see how these classes, they start off at maybe $500 or $1,000, and then now all of a sudden they're $99. What happened to is it the same course? Is we not getting the same information? How it all of a sudden become $99? And then when people see the type of lifestyle that people are trying to portray out here on the internet, it makes you think that this is something that you can get into and you're going to make all kinds of money. And that's not the case, okay? So many people fail at starting any trucking company, whether it is dispatching, whether it's becoming a freight broker, whether it is buying a truck and leasing it on to somebody, whether it's getting your own authority, okay? All these things that happen in trucking, a lot of people fail at it, okay? But people will sell you on the idea that this is a billion-dollar industry. And it is. You can make money in trucking, but it's not just taking a $500 class. Let me be honest with you, okay? When I got my freight broker's license and I became a motor carrier, okay, the first thing that I thought about was, okay, I could teach this to other people. I can make them freight agents. They can work for me and they can get a percentage. I'll just show them how to get the shippers, and everybody can work under my authority. Or at the time, I was working under somebody with Landstar's authority, so that was just easy. That was you. All you had to do was, get in there, make your calls, and things like that, right? And it sounded good. A lot of this stuff sound good, but what happened was when I started teaching, none of them will be in business with FMCSA get finished rules, regulations. And that's another thing. And you taking these classes from people that is not authorized. They don't have a carrier. They don't have a brokerage. They don't have anything. Okay? And another thing is, once I started teaching the classes, okay, I started teaching, let's just say, I'm gonna just talk about me, okay? Because I came out and I started teaching classes it was $375, right? And most of the time I was thinking, okay, it's for my time. I'm showing people a skill. I didn't expect for anybody to be in my class. Maybe about 3 or 4 people that I can train and teach how to run the business, how to get freight and things like that. And we was in there, it was 3 of us. We was in there and I was showing them how to do everything and making the calls. And what I would do was, to get you started, I got you your first client. I got you your first customer, right? Because if I'm going to talk the talk, I need to be able to walk the walk, right? Or walk the walk, talk the talk. So I will get you your first customer, okay? After that, it's up to you, okay? Now, out of 3 people that I had in my class, 1 of them or 2 of them may get a customer. They'll get a customer, right? 1 of them may move freight. Okay, you got to be able to move the freight in order to get paid. You cannot get paid if you don't move freight. And what a lot of people was wanting to do was, they want you to find the customer, and all they wanted to do was just move the freight. They just want to answer the phone. And it wasn't fair to other people that was actually working and that was getting up every day, that was making the calls, that was negotiating and all that kind of stuff. It's not fair to them, the ones that's actually working, trying to do it, to people that just want to come in and answer the phone and make money that way. Right? So nobody was like working all together as a team. So I'm like, okay, I did 3. I got 1 out the group that was doing good, didn't have to worry about it, and could move freight, can call customers. All I had to do for her was just give her check on Friday. She would invoice me and get her check on Friday, right? But when we're talking about a check, we're not talking about thousands of dollars. Okay, it will take you a while, and people don't want to invest their time. Okay, it may take you 3 months, it may take you 6 months to get your first client. And a lot of times when I would talk to people on the phone, they would say, well, Miss Tamara, I want to be making $1,500 a week. But you're not putting in the work to make $1,500 a week. Okay, you just can't come in like that. It's no miracle, nothing. Okay, everything that we do, I don't care if it's hotshot, box truck, agents, or whatever the case may be, it's going to take work. And when I talk about work, I'm talking about dedicated time. So if you got another job, you're going to have to find a way around that. Okay. Okay. I work 9 to 5. Okay. When I'm going to have time to make my calls, you better call on the West Coast, or you better start on the East Coast. Okay. Or in between your breaks, you better start making your calls. If this is something that you want, you're going to have to put in the time and the work and the effort to get it done. And it's not going to come overnight. You're not going to make a lot of money. I don't care what it is. Box truck, trucking business. And the bigger you go, the bigger risk that you have, the more that you can lose. Y'all need to start asking questions. When people are saying, okay, are you going to be able to put me under your agency where I can move your freight, where I can move freight? Okay. Who am I going to be working for? If I purchase a truck, where's my truck going to be? Is it going to be under your authority? Is it going to be under your business? Is the truck going to be in your name? Or is it going to be my name? Because if a person is putting a truck in your name and you're the owner of that truck and it don't go right, okay, the numbers ain't matching up, you ain't got no driver, they talking about they're going to find you a driver and you ain't got no driver, your truck been sitting for months, because you're waiting on somebody to get you a driver, or they may promise you that they're going to get you one driver, and then if that driver quits, then you're on your own and you have no experience about how to hire a look for a driver. Are you going to be on a hook for that? You got to make smart business decisions. I don't want to tell anybody what to do with their money, but if you're thinking that you're going to be able to throw money in a $500 or $10,000 or whatever and hope that you're going to be some kind of millionaire, not in this game. Not in this game. This game takes a lot of hard work. It really does. Okay, it really does. And what happened was, I started getting more and more people wanting to take my class. Okay, and I don't have a problem. You know, why wouldn't I want somebody to take my class, right? I'm thinking, okay, I'm building my team. Let's go ahead and do this. So I'm like, but people are not wanting to put the work in that it requires to do to move the freight, right? So what I said was, let me raise the price. I'm gonna raise the price $500 because this is a month-long class. We're gonna meet 3 times a week. We're gonna get on the phone. We're gonna make our calls. And the more I raised it, thinking that it would be less people in the class, because I only want the people that really want to do this, right? Because I'm trying to build a business. I got a brokerage. I'm trying to build a business. I can't just do all this by myself. I need to build a team. So I raised the price up thinking, okay, I'm gonna get a select few people who know about this or whatever. And I was getting everybody. Okay, so if I'm putting 20 people in a class and it's $500, that's what, $10,000? And the thing about that is sometimes, and I'm gonna be honest with you, people think because they gave you $500 or gave me $500, right? That you got to be at their beck and call. Okay, that's my $500. You're gonna answer the phone when I need you to answer the phone. You're gonna tell it to me 4 or 5 times. I've taught classes where we're doing Zoom calls and people are doing everything else but paying attention to what it is that we're supposed to be doing. We do live calls, and you have 20 people in the class, 10 of them might show up to the live calls. Okay. We'll do calls and say, hey, well, I said, well, how much do you pay, Miss Tamara? Because I don't pay by the hour. I don't pay by the you don't clock in. This is what it's called being an entrepreneur. So you have to earn what you make, right? So if you don't earn it, you don't make anything. So I would have people say to me, I don't think 50% is enough for me. I think I want more. But how can 50% not be enough for you when you got 0%? It's not making sense. Right? So then if I go and do this or whatever the case may be, people think that, oh, I gave her that $500 and she just went and did this and she just, no, I don't want my money to be on, how would you say, other people, depend on other people, right? Because when you do it that way, people feel some sort of way. If everybody ain't 100%, and there's no way they can guarantee, no class can guarantee everybody. Okay, we may talk about the successful people that may have done the work and made a couple of dollars or made some money, but that's not majority of them. That's not majority of. We don't talk about the ones that haven't, right? We don't talk about that, but it's more so than what it is. So when I say to you, and then I stopped because I was getting people in the class that had no idea about what we was doing, had no interest, had no idea what was going on. And the only thing that I can do is I can give you a tool. That's the only thing I'm doing. I'm not guaranteed. I can't guarantee you no success. I can't guarantee that you're going to make some money. I can't do any of that. The only thing that I can do is give you a tool. And what you do from there is totally up to you. It is. It's totally up to you. And I can't have like I gotta run trucks. I gotta do this. I gotta do that, and I don't have that time available to be able to like hold somebody's hand. So I had to stop because the audience that I was attracting wasn't good. It's I think people think that this is more than what it is. The audience that I was attracting was like it was just, you was just throwing money away. Because if you're not going to actually do the work, and then I have to make up, ways for you to make money. Well, can I drive the truck and be a broker? You can, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard because when are you're going to drive the truck for 10 hours, right? And then you're going to get up and make your calls, right? And then you're going to have to you can, but it's going to take some time. You got to be able to dedicate. And I want, before anybody take a class, this is what I want you to do. Before you take a class, put your money on, and it reminds me so much of like the cryptocurrency. Remember I used to talk about Forex and all that kind of stuff. Remember that? The IML and all this kind of stuff. It's kind of like the same thing. Okay? If I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not going to throw my money at. If you got to tell me when to trade or when to buy or when to sell or do all this kind of stuff, and I have no knowledge about how to do this stuff, I'm not going to keep throwing money at it, right? Because I'm dependent on you for me to make my money. Okay, so it's something like that, and I couldn't grasp it. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, like, investing or cryptocurrency or all that kind of stuff is a bad thing, because there are people that understand it and there are people that make money, but there's a lot of people that don't. Okay, so when you don't understand something, don't throw a lot of money away thinking that somebody is going to just magically run your operation for you and you're going to get a 150% return. It's not going to happen. And I think that y'all want it so bad, okay, that y'all are willing to take your last 10,000 or take your last 15,000 or whatever and say, hey, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna, let it go. And 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna work. It takes more than that. You can't do that. You can't just throw your money away and hope that somebody is just going to turn it around and make double or a lot from what you invested. Usually an investment takes a long time to get your money back. It's not going to happen. But I stopped because people was taking my class that couldn't even write an email. Okay, people was taking my class that was did not have computer. They couldn't deal with the computer, and everything that we do as far as being a broker or an agent, it's all going to be emails, phones, computers, all that kind of stuff. Okay, and before you take any class, I think what would be more beneficial for you is to take like a mindset course, okay? Because when you're coming from like a 9 to 5, or you're working a job or whatever the case may be, and you're trying to branch off into what is called being an entrepreneur, the first thing that has to change is your mind, your mindset, because everything that you've done in the past with your job is totally different. Okay? Being an entrepreneur is, you don't wake up, you don't work, you don't make your calls, you don't get paid at all. Right? Having a job or going to clock in, you go clock in, do your work or don't do your work or whatever, but at the end of the day, when you clock out, at the end of the week, you get a check, right? But when you're doing freight agent, independent dispatchers, getting your own authority, all this kind of stuff, you may not necessarily get a check. You may have to go in the hole. You may have to go in your savings. Sometimes these people that own trucks, right? They bought a truck and so that they didn't have to work, so they could have residual income. How about some people have a truck and they still got to work because they got to cover the truck expenses? That came up because we don't have a whole lot of money set aside. My advice to you is, before you invest a lot of money, first of all, you need to check your sources, right? FMCSA is the easiest way to check, okay? If somebody's going to be teaching you freight broker, they should be licensed, okay? If somebody's going to be teaching you like dispatching, they don't have to be licensed. And I'm telling you this, I don't talk to dispatchers. I don't talk to, why I don't talk to dispatchers. The reason why is because they can't negotiate with me. I'm a licensed broker. I don't negotiate with with dispatchers. A dispatcher is either going to take the rate that I give them, or they can let me talk to the carrier, because that's who I negotiate with. I negotiate with carriers. Brokers negotiate with shippers, okay? So this whole thing about dispatchers, dispatchers don't have shippers. How? And the calls that I get, mostly when they're wanting to dispatch my truck, these calls come from people that are overseas somewhere. Okay? Because there's big companies invest in places like the Philippines or wherever. They're not here. And they will be, and all they do is call. All they do is call carriers. All they do, and all I do is hang up. All I do is hang up. All I do, everybody got the best whatever. Okay? Everybody got the best loads. Everybody got the best contacts, connections, or whatever the case. And then when you invest and say, okay, I'm going to let you run my truck, and they getting you the same amount of money that you were getting yourself, and then want 10% out of that, it's ridiculous. You got to know this market. You got to be prepared for the ups and downs in this market. If you want to be a dispatcher, I'm not discouraging you, but it's not as easy as people try to make it be. It's not. And taking a class is not going to make you successful. A class is only going to give you the basic tools for you, okay, to put in the work. And a lot of times, that's as far as it gets. Questions? Oh, another thing you need to ask for. Just the basics. Yeah, that's it. It's no miracle class that you're going to go in there, you're going to make six figures. If anybody is telling you that, they are lying to you. It's just a basic. And it's a quick money. See, dispatching, you ain't got to have no license for it. Right? Let me see how many. There's a lot of people that just, it is what it is. I stopped because it's like I was just getting the $500 teaching people what it is to do. But if I'm teaching a class of 20 people and I'll give up maybe 5 or 10 that will actually like make the calls and stick with it, and maybe 5 that will actually get a shipper, okay, and out that 5, 3 of them will actually move a load. That's not building to me, I'm not building a business like that. I just teaching classes, it's just a rotating cycle. Then next month it's a whole another group. And it would make me frustrated. It made me really frustrated. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And it was such a, I just wanted a core group of people that, would take this serious, make the calls, and I don't have to, like get it, like really get it. Like I know what I gotta do. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get up on my own. I'm gonna make my calls. And when I would get like comments of, Miss Tamara, I've called everybody in the United States. And I would be like, that's impossible. You ain't been doing this for 4 weeks. How you call everybody in the United States? So I felt like I had to constantly encourage or constantly, say, you got this, come on. It was like pulling teeth. And it was like, oh, I don't know. But it's like trucking, you got to have a passion to do it. You really do, because this thing will eat you up alive. It would just eat at you, and you would be the most unhappy person. And if you already stressing out about stuff, trucking ain't gonna make it no better. I just don't want you to think going into 2024, ask questions, okay? And or ask people that really do this. We out here. A lot of people that really do this is not. They don't do YouTube videos and stuff like that, but they have a lot of knowledge that that they will share with you. And it ain't for everybody. Yeah, but the biggest thing is you can't rush this. If this is something that you are thinking about getting into and you think it's going to happen overnight, or you need a check by next week or next month or whatever the case may be, um, don't do it. You cannot just wing this. You cannot. It's hard. And that you're gonna break at the worst. Yeah, yeah. Would I ever buy like two? And you got to have the capital. Don't take your last $15,000 and just hope that magically you gonna double that. You gonna need some more money to get an authority set up. Is going to take you over $10,000 just to get authority. So, okay, I'm gonna give you, I don't know what, $15,000, $20,000. You're gonna get me a truck, a driver, right? Whose authority is it gonna be under? Okay, what about the insurance? Did y'all be asking about that? Am I under somebody else's insurance? Where is my truck gonna be? Now you taking that truck and putting it under somebody else's authority that you don't know, and they gonna run that truck how they wanna, and you don't have no say. I'm just saying, save your money. Unless you, especially now, you know. And some of these things you can get on your own. If you want to go buy a truck is at the auctions is $30,000, $40,000. It'll be paid for cash, and you don't have to worry about no payments being missed. You don't have to worry about none of that. And if you think that you want to get a truck and a driver, start advertising. Start putting in ads that what you're looking for. Have your numbers. Know what you're going to pay your driver. Have some kind of control over your business. Don't just invest money and throw it away. It's the quickest way to lose an investment. It really is. And I think the reason why a lot of people do it is the expectation of a miracle, I guess, in some kind of way, but I'm sure that like some people do, but majority don't. Some people would make some money, and a lot of them that do either have some experience in it, or they've been driving, or they used to drive, or they have some kind of knowledge, okay? And they can recover if something goes wrong. If something goes wrong, hey, I can snatch my truck. I can put it over here because I know this place will take it. I can, find my own driver. I can, whatever the case may be, because you got to have options, because if option number one don't work, what you going to do? And when you're dealing with like credit and things like that, it's like that goes on your credit report, right? If you're getting a truck in your name, doesn't that, and if it's not in the business name, but don't set yourself up like that. You got to know about these things. You got to know, where's my truck going to be leased at? Where's my truck going to be running? How much revenue is my truck going to wait? Who are these people that you are putting my truck under? Okay, what happens when I don't have a driver for a week or 2 weeks? Okay, what happens when the truck breaks down? Who pays the driver when the truck ain't made no money? Okay, this is something that needs to be asked up front. Okay, am I going to have to come out of pocket? Don't be afraid to ask the questions, because it may save you from a difficult time. What happens if my truck get in an accident? Who pays for that? What's the deductible? Okay, what if my driver is get shut down? What if my driver fails a drug test? What happens then? What kind of experience do my driver have to have? What kind of experience are y'all putting in my truck? Do they have to have 2 years? Do they have to have a clean driving record? Or could they have accidents and tickets? Okay? What's the experience of my driver? You got to ask these questions. The more you ask, the more you educate yourself. And take your time. Take your time. Do not rush this. The money will come. Let me tell you something. The money will come. But it ain't going to be quick, fast, and in a hurry. And then when you do get the money, you got to save it. Because ain't no telling what's going to happen. You're going to be dealing with, you may think something under warranty and it's not under warranty, especially if y'all getting trucks that ain't under warranty. You might as well just throw the bank at them, because the radiator going to go out, the sensor, if it ain't the sensor, the depth, you're going to have issues with that. You're going to be buying tires. You're going to be doing PMs. Tires are what, $200, $300 a piece? You're going to be, the radiators, 3,000, okay? Sensors, you got to get the the one box. They're going to be hitting you hard. Right now, I got a 2016 Freightliner. Guess what I need? A computer. On my 2000 and, that truck comes first, not you get ready. It's coming out to save it for sure. And then who's taking out like maintenance? Are they making you take out 8 cents or 12 cents a mile for the maintenance? How much money you got in your maintenance? If the truck break down, or if I need to get something fixed, can I just go in there and get the maintenance when I feel like it? Or do I have to take my truck to a certain shop? Okay, can I take it anywhere? What if my truck gotta be towed? Who pays that bill? Me? No, y'all didn't say that when y'all said give the 15,000 and y'all gonna take care of everything. I just get my check at the end of the week. Ain't nobody said nothing about no towing. Ain't nobody said nothing about no PMs. Ain't nobody said nothing about nothing. All I know is I give my money and I'm supposed to get a return on my investment. And that money that you get, let's just say you get $500, $1,000, if you lucky, a week. Okay? You got to go get your PMs. You got to get a tire. You got to get the driver is off. They can't work 7 days a week, 30 days out the month. They can't do that. They got to take off. They got to take 34-hour resets. And there's not a lot of drivers, unless they brand new, that is want to run 48 states. If you got over 5 years experience in this industry, you're not running 48 states if you don't have to. If you got a clean record, clean MVR, you ain't out there trying to run the Wyoming and Utah and all those kind of places. You somewhere regional. You looking for something dedicated. You looking for something on the home on the weekend. You know? So what kind of drivers are you getting? Are you getting new drivers with tickets, accidents? You got to ask these questions. And I don't want to deter you from but why? Why are you taking the class? What is your expectation of it? What do you expect to get out of it? Okay? One day, folks are teaching dispatching. Next day, they teaching freight agent. Next day, they teaching box truck. Next day, they teaching 26 foot, that's the box. Next day, they teaching hotshots. So they must be specialized in everything. And everything is different. And if you think you're going to make $1 million in hotshot, child, I got some land in Williamson, Georgia. I could sell you. Okay? It's an investment. Mindset first, ask a lot of questions, try to get to know somebody that is, and just watch them. You don't have to, just watch what they do. Watch how they out here. Watch when they break down the costs. Watch when they break down the repairs and say, am I ready for this? If I invest in this, what was the person that a person that started the hotshot business and was doing well and was getting everybody in and was just growing and growing, and guess what? Insurance hit 40, 50,000. We needed like yesterday in order to keep these hot shots running. It can be gone just like that. Just like that. Growing too fast. Take your time. Trucking ain't going nowhere. Okay? Learn from the mega people that's out here. Lawsuits. There you go. Lawsuits. Because that LLC is a joke. Yeah. Who gonna pay for the lawsuit? You didn't think you could get sued. Right? You can. Okay? And a claim. I didn't tell you I had a claim I had to pay. I had a driver. Okay? Coming out of Pennsylvania. Okay? And I don't know what, but the trailer caught on fire. $28,000. Okay? When the insurance pays it, guess what? You can't do nothing for 2 years. Okay? They get what is called a loss report, a loss run. Okay? So I have to pay the deductible. Okay? But what if I didn't have all my paperwork and everything in order? What if I didn't have that driver running legal? What if I didn't have, the right person in the truck? What if I didn't have the right insurance on the truck or the trailer? Okay? People don't care about your equipment if it ain't theirs. Okay? That person is gone on to somewhere else, running for somebody else. Okay? I'm left to pick up the pieces. Okay? And that happened over 2 years ago. Okay? So I'm here. It's not if it's going to happen, it's when. These things happen. These things happen. Okay? And I want you to know about them. So it's not as easy as you may think it is. Take your time. Okay? Know what you're doing out here. But if you're coming from a work, a job, a salary, or whatever the case may be, and you want to step over into entrepreneurship, my first recommendation for you is to take something about changing your mindset, because it's a whole different ball game. It's a ball game. It's a whole different ball game. And it's rough. Okay? It really is. And that is the reason why I'm out here. I don't worry about is she back in her truck? Is she in the office? Is she doing? I do whatever it is I need to do to make sure that my company is running the way I need to run. Whether that is in the office, whether that is out here on the trucks, okay? Whatever it is, because I depend on me. I can't depend on nobody else. Our trucks, we depend on us. Okay? So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Nobody's going to give you anything out here. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares if you make money or not. Okay? When you get an investment, you got to make sure whoever you're investing in, make sure that they got some skin in the game. Make sure it ain't nothing that, everything is going to be on you. We go down, everybody going down. Okay? But save your money. Okay? There's a lot of great people out here on YouTube or social media. You just got to find them. And everybody gives you like little tidbits here, there, or whatever. And then when we're doing live feeds, ask questions. Ask questions. I don't mind telling anybody anything, but I just can't be on the phone with folks all day telling the same thing over and over and over again. You know, we can't talk about getting trucks if we ain't got no down payment. What are we talking about? We got to get the money up first. Then you got to look at different companies. You got to start looking at different companies. You don't just go to one company because somebody told you about it. You got to do your research. You got to pull up, okay, what's the qualifications for this company? What's the qualifications for that company? Where am I going to get money from if something happens? I know I got about 10,000 in bank, but that ain't going to save me if these things start, spiraling out of control. Can I get capital for somewhere to keep the business running? It ain't no game. It ain't no joke. These and tags, tags don't hit you. Okay. What is the UCC 1308? Your tags are gonna hit you. That's gonna be about to get mine renewed. That's gonna be about $4,500. Okay. Insurance. That's gonna be about 6,000-7,000. Renew that. All of it come at one time. Okay. UCRs, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I've been through it. I've been through a claim. I've been through getting these tags. I've been through repairs. I've been through a lot. But you just keep going. You just keep going. But I don't want you to think that it's easy, because it's not. It's not easy at all. It's very stressful. Okay? But that's what entrepreneurship is. It's so eventually it's going to get easier, but not when you first start. I'm not even a year with these 2 extra trucks. Okay, I won't start feeling I won't start feeling some release until 4 years. I can't see myself right now just, taking a seat back and letting it work on automation. I can't see that self. I can't see that myself. That's not going to work for me, because nobody is going to run your truck like you. Nobody's going to take care of your truck like you. Nobody is going to make sure that you're okay. What truck breakdown, you got to drive in it. Who paying for the hotel? You? What if the truck won't be fixed for a week? Do the driver get paid or no? They just sit in a truck, or you get them a hotel? What goes on there? You got to know, and drivers want their money. Because if they don't get their money, they're going to get it from somewhere. They will leave your truck, reserve your rights in a contract. Yeah. They will leave your truck. What if you ain't got no CDL? Who gonna go get your truck? What if you live in Georgia and the truck is in California? You got to find somebody. Is that your responsibility, or is that somebody else's responsibility? You got to think of these things, and don't just jump into this blindly. Okay? Take your time. Ask plenty, plenty of questions until you just blew in the face, till you just got it. All right? Any questions for me before I go? Guys, I hope y'all had a wonderful Thanksgiving 2024. Um, invest in yourself and a mindset. It's hard, when you come from W-2 and you trying to transition over to being an entrepreneur. That's one of the hardest things that you ever could do, and I'm telling you. But there's reward at the end of the day. There's a reward, but it's just gonna take some time. It's gonna take some work. I'm not there yet. Okay, I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you I got all this money and all that kind of stuff, because that'll be a lie. I don't. I'm making it out here just like anybody else. We're surviving, and we just fluctuate with the market. Okay, we do what we need to do. We cut back. It's down right now. You got to cut back. I can't hire drivers. Okay, I can't pay a salary to people, and I'm sitting at home, and I got a CDL, and I can get out here and make it happen. Okay, you got to watch your costs at all times. Explain more on the trailer fire about the insurance. Oh, okay. I had a driver coming from PA, and and on the highway, because I checked out the route that they was going, and it wasn't heavy, so it could have been a mechanical issue on the driver was not at fault. Okay, it could have been a mechanical issue with the trailer. It could have been a problem with the trailer. Okay, um, but the trailer caught on fire and driver disconnected, so there wasn't anything that happened to the tractor, but I had to pay that cargo claim. I think it was like, you got to pay for the cleanup, you got to pay for the fire department, you got to pay for the fire department, the cleanup, you got to pay for, oh, and the goods in the trailer. So, but yeah, good thing is insurance covered it. I paid the deductible, and I had to wait 2 years. I had to continue to pay my rates for the last 2 years, so I can get that off of my report. But the only thing is, it will make your insurance go up. Okay, and sometimes it will put you out of business. But my insurance went up about, I want to say it went up like $2,000. At that time, it went up $2,000. So after this renewal, then I'll be able to get better rates, because that loss won't be reported when I'm looking for insurance, because they'll stay on there for 2 years. But they asked about the driver. The driver wasn't ticketed. What else? It's been a while ago, so I kind of forgot about it. But the driver wasn't ticketed. The truck was okay. Um, the trailer, they cleaned it up, okay, and disposed of everything. And I just got a bill, and I sent it over to my insurance company. They did all the fact checking, because they're going to make sure that you had a qualified driver. They're going to make sure that they check a lot of stuff. And then when they find out that they're going to go ahead and pay it, then they'll just send them a check, and you just pay your deductible. But sometimes they can do an investigation, and if anything is wrong, claims affects the rates you run at. Not mine. It didn't affect mine. It didn't affect mine, so I don't know. But no, because I don't have anything. If you look at my FMCSA, I don't have anything on my. I don't have a tow. I don't have anything. There's nothing on my safety. So, but yeah, it does. Like, as a broker, if I was gonna call, if a carrier called me and they was wanting to move a load, and I looked on a FMCSA, it will tell me, if I look on a FMCSA, it will tell me if they have an injury, it will tell me if they had to be towed, it will tell me if some other things that, it would tell me to make me think that they're safety vests. But on my FMCSA, if you look on there under the carrier, there's nothing on there. So there was no nothing that like another broker can pull and say, hey, you done this or whatever. It did not affect my safety rating at all. Questions? Did I explain that? It wasn't out of service, so there was no out of service or nothing like that. So, and all those things. Hey, Ida. Girl, I am getting through with Thanksgiving. I'm getting ready to get back on the road. I got to get out of here. Um, one more day and I'm gone. I'm out of here. Anyway, guys, I will talk to you all later. But yeah, I just wanted, that was just on my heart that I don't care about what everybody else. It was good. Oh my God, I cooked everything. I made some gumbo and I'm cooking fish tonight. But it was good. That was on my heart. And I don't want anybody that follows me or watch me or whatever the case may be. And I got to be able to talk to y'all and tell you, but a lot of y'all know what it is, you know. I just want you to be a little more cautious when it comes down to just thinking that this trucking thing is just, it's a get rich quick thing, and it's not. Y'all should know that, right? So before you spend your money, and I don't ever want anybody to spend their last dime on any course or anything. I tell people all the time, if they was taking my course, don't let this be your last $500 or whatever the case may be. Okay, because if you're thinking that you can pay $500 and you're going to be making a lot of money, don't do it. Keep it. Keep your money. Okay, um, keep it, because that's not the case, and I can't guarantee. Nobody can. Nobody can guarantee that you're gonna make all this money. Okay, and if that is the reason why you are pursuing or taking a class, don't do it. Okay, if you're taking that class to get the basics, to get the tools, to get maybe a little bit more information, don't have any expectations out of it, because a lot of times it you just got the basics. Okay, you got to really do this. You learn as you earn, or however you put it. You got to do it. You got to do it. Okay, what do I have to do? um you got to find the shippers. How do I find the shippers? Okay, let's y'all know how we go on Google. We look for our shippers. We look for small shippers. I tell you the difference between whether you going a big shipper or when I say a big shipper, I mean a shipper that you got to bid on, because as an independent agent or independent freight broker or whatever, a lot of times you can't get in the door. Sometimes you got to bid on freight, okay? So you got to learn how to bid. You got to learn how to rate your lanes, okay? A lot of times, if you don't have any trucks, you are what is called a non-asset broker. So that means that when you go to do a contract for somebody, they may want you to have 10, 15, 20 trucks, okay, in order to bid on that contract, okay? So you got to learn how to do that. You got to learn how to, but when you're getting the smaller shippers, I look for shippers that have, like, when the trucks roll in there, they have their own names on the trucks. It's not something like when I go to a shipper, and I look at like Lowe's and Home Depot and all that. Those are contracted freight, and a lot of times they don't let small independent brokers get in there because they move a lot of loads. Okay. Another thing is they like to have trailers, so you got to have 15, 20 trailers at their disposal at all times. So if you're a new broker and you just starting out, why are you gonna go after loads? That takes work. That takes time. You got to know how to rate your lanes. You got to find where you're gonna get these trailers from. You got to find where you're gonna get these drivers from, because you got to pick it up, and you got to have people there to pick it up. Okay. 10 roads still running in Atlanta. Um, but yeah, so you start small when you are a broker or agent. You start small. You start with your small shippers, and so people who answer the phone, okay, and you talk to them, and you don't want to have a long conversation. Like, you want to be able to, here's my insurance, here's what I can do, and don't overpromise, okay? And sometimes they will give you the rate, and sometimes, and you may take it. A lot of times I'll take it, but then because I don't have a carrier, once I get a carrier, I'll go back to them and say, hey, I got a carrier that will move it, but we're going to need this, okay? And a lot of times, if they need that load moved right away, they're going to go ahead and pay it. Okay. One of the issues that we're going to be dealing with as far as bidding now, the shippers are pushing back. Some of these shippers are going to want, instead of 30 days, they're going to want 60 days. Okay. So when you're a broker, it's going to be kind of hard sometimes, because you got to have a factoring company that is going to cover, um, that is going to cut. Oh, okay, you're in Madison, Illinois. You got to have a factoring company that is going to cover them bills until you actually get paid, because they got to pay the drivers, and you got to be able to put out that money. So, for example, a lot of times when you start off as a freight broker, they're going to give you like maybe $25,000 on a shipper, right? So let's just say I go to a company and I bid on a load, and they say, okay, we're going to award you this lane, or we're going to award you that freight, right? But we don't pay for 60 days, right? So you got to send that to your factoring company. They got to approve that. So sometimes that you can run through $25,000 in a week. You can run through 25. If I'm moving freight like that, you can run through $25,000 in a week. So the freight factoring company is giving you, so when they hit that limit, you got to go ask for more money, right? So depending on what kind of shipper it is, sometimes we got to get $500,000, $250,000, because the factoring company has to pay all this money out so you can continue to run and pay for your fuel and pay for your drivers and pay for your repairs and pay for all, and you steady running this freight and you ain't got no money. The shipper ain't paid, okay? In the contract, it states that they don't pay for 60 days. So you got to be with an excellent factoring company that is going to give you a 250,000, 500,000, however much you want, to be able to continue to run that freight without getting cut off. Because once they cut you off, right? Once they cut you off, then you can't run that freight no more. Once you hit your limit, you can't run the freight no more. Okay, so that's why I try to tell you to work, small, small. Try to get the dates down to, like, maybe 30 days or whatever the case may be, and don't try to overdo the business. Just be out there trying to get shippers. Okay, because if somebody don't pay, it's going to put you in a bind. Or just delay the payment, it's going to put you in a bind. And if they go past their agreement of when they say they're going to pay, then you don't have that shipper no more, because they're not going to let you run that freight. So it's a lot to learn. It's not just people just going to be throwing you freight and you just going to run it down the street and get paid. It just don't work that way. It don't work that easy. Okay, it's not going to be that you just going to get all these carriers. They're going to pay you 10% of their income, and you just going to be making all kinds of money. It don't work like that. Okay, it ain't gonna work that you just go buy a truck and you just go throw it to somebody and they just gonna run your truck and you gonna make all kinds of money. It don't work like that. Okay, so it's a little bit more to it. It's a little bit more detailed. Anytime y'all have questions and I'm on this live feed, you can always ask the question, okay? Um, and I'll try to tell you as much as I can. I try to stay in my lane. You know, I don't talk about um, um, hot shot because I don't know nothing about hot shot. I never had a hot shot. I only can talk about what I know, what I done. Okay, I can't talk about containers. Never did containers. Okay, can't talk to you about box truck. Anytime y'all call me about a box truck, I tell you I don't know. Okay, I stay in my lane. I don't know. I can't tell you. I can't pretend to tell you where to go get box truck freight. I don't know. Only thing I know is 18-wheeler trucks. Okay, that's what I know. Stick to what I know. I can't tell you how to make money in being a box truck owner, and I don't even own a box truck. Right? Does that make sense? I can't tell you about heavy haul when I ain't never pulled a heavy haul load. How can I tell you? I can't tell you how would we be able to contact you about setting up. I don't do classes anymore. I don't have the time. Me doing a class is, it takes a month. You know, we got to do this for a month over and over and over again, and I just don't have the time. I can't. My trucks make like 10,000, like a truck, right? So if I do a class, that's 10,000 a month. My truck make that in a week. I can't. And people think they pay me for the class, and I'm just making all this money at the class, and I don't like. Mm-mm, mm-mm. You got to if people not happy, you got to give them a refund. If I'm not doing all that, I'm not doing all that. I to keep it. I can go get this other ways. You know, I can go out here and get it for real. Okay, I don't have to do all that. You know, and a lot of people say that, you know, I want to help, I want to teach others. I did too. It's okay. I ain't gotta do it. It ain't. I could just sit on here and talk to you for free. Okay, I ain't gotta charge you nothing. It don't matter. I don't want nobody thinking that because they gave me $500, I done, you know, went and did something with the money. No, mm-mm. No, I can tell you whatever you want. I can tell it to you for free. I just can't be on the phone with you talking and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to do that. Okay, I got other things to do. I have a life. But no, I don't do classes anymore. It was draining, and that's not how I want to make my money. Okay, it may be good for other people, but that's not. I don't want to make my money like that. That's a recycling. You got to get more people, more people, more people, more people. Where you gonna get all these people from? And then ain't nobody doing nothing. Ain't nobody bringing in no money. That's a one-time thing. Now you got to go find more people, advertise, find more people, do this. Get somebody else to do it. I got too much stuff to do, and I'm at peace. I'm at peace. I don't have to worry about answering the phone and all these questions and all. It's okay. It's okay. You want to learn something from me? We could be on the video. We can talk, ask me questions. I'll answer it. I don't care. I ain't gotta, whatever. I gotta run these trucks, and it's not a game for me. You know, I have to do what I need to do to be out here. Hard work. That's it. But other than that, guys, I gotta go. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace, love, joy, and happiness. You all have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will be back on the truck soon. Bye.